Boldizzoni, a professor of political science at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. Francesco, great to have you on the program. This letter ends, tax us, tax us, tax us. It is the right choice. It is the only choice. Humanity is more important than our money. What are the pros and cons of this request, and how might it work, and how effective might it be? Your general thoughts, first of all.
Well, Adnan, I think it's important not to judge people's motives. So I assume the signatories of the letter are well-meaning people and not just looking for publicity. So I see two problems with the proposal. One is of size, and the other one is political, so to speak. So by size, I mean who taxing more, say the top 1% wealth holders or income earners generate per se a tax revenue that is large enough to cope with the economic disruption caused by the pandemic. I doubt it. And as for the political problem, it's as follows. So assuming it's enough, how do you spend this money? So philanthropists don't have the power to set priorities in public spending. Governments do have this power, and as long as the likes of Trump or Boris Johnson are in power, it's not obvious, of course, what they would make of this money. However, let me be clear, if we take the billionaires' plea not literally, but rather as an invitation to rethink the tax system as a whole with the aim of making it a tool for fairer wealth distribution, that could really make the difference, I think.
Yeah, the really interesting point, because it could be that it is a way to tell governments, because that's what the millionaires are saying, that charity is not going to do it alone, that governments need to make this revenue from people like us. And therefore, when you're talking about equality, it's already been said that the coronavirus pandemic is going to really set equality back a long way. So does that mean that actually if millionaires are going to be taxed, it's really only going to be largely beneficial for countries that have lots of millionaires and billionaires, because many countries don't have those kind of individuals who have that money? So therefore, how do we improve and keep the fight against inequality going during the coronavirus pandemic if it's Western governments or governments in the North that are mostly making the revenue from higher taxes?
Yes, that's a very good point. The shock of the pandemic has exposed certain fragilities in our economies and societies that are structural. So the authors of the letter rightly mention unemployment, and just think of how easy it is these days to lose one's job, and not only because employment is entirely dependent on the private demand for goods and services, but also because it's inherently precarious. So workers are now normally underemployed. That is to say, they lack the basic protections that their fathers and mothers used to enjoy. They can be fired overnight, even with a text message, and not many of them will ever get a decent pension. So something has to be done about this, regardless of how many billionaires there are in any given country.
Francesco, how long do you think the recovery is going to take on a global scale? I mean, let's give credit to the 83 who signed this letter and say that, as you began your answer, that their motivation is the right kind of motivation. But when you look at the bigger picture, how long is the global economic recovery going to take, do you think?
I wish I had a crystal ball to tell. No, I mean, it depends on how long the pandemic is going to last. how soon a vaccine, an effective vaccine, is found, and how broad is the access to this vaccine. But to stay on the safe side, I'd say several years. There is no doubt, I think.
Francesco, really appreciate it. Thank you so much indeed, Francesco Boldizzoni from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. Take care.